What's up, guys? Welcome back to RPG, Real Personal Growth, where I cope with reality by pretending it's a video game, and I'm the main character. Today is another episode of EXP Share, where I share my experience of escaping from hell currently. And right now, some crazy shit just happened, and it was just so fresh in my mind, I had to talk about it. But I'm having a kind of a meta moment because it's like, damn, how much of my life am I going to give to you guys? Because this is kind of like, it's not that it's super, super personal. It's just that the person I'm going to be talking about in this video watches my videos. So it's kind of weird because it's like, damn, I don't want to be disrespectful, obviously. But at the same time, I really don't give a fuck. And I just be thinking about like, damn, what's the line? Eventually, I'm going to have to draw a line with how much of my life I tell you guys about and how much I give to you guys. But right now, I'm still in hell. So until we escape, I'm not going to think about it too much. I'm just going to keep giving. And then one day, I'm going to be like, all right, now let me have my life back. And we'll deal with the repercussions when that happens. But basically, I just want to talk about, you can see the title, right? This is the first time I really felt the impact of my growth in real time compared to the other people around me. So basically, one of my best friends since since middle school. So over 10 years now, right? I'm 24. Yeah, fuck. One of my best friends of over 10 years now. I'm talking about this motherfucker has been with me in the studio recording some of my first songs, like used to drive me around sometimes, help me get to certain places. Like we would talk for hours because we used to be in the same place in life where it was like, we're both ADHD ass motherfuckers who, we have our vices, we have our addictions, video games and drugs and shit, and just being overall kind of like lazy, but like always like, wanting more and like mental health issues. Like he was like the mirror for me in terms of like, wow, like this person's going through the same exact shit that I'm going through, but we're just going about it different ways. And over time, obviously, you go your separate ways. Some people do this thing, and we haven't really talked in a long time, in a couple of months now, and it will become more and more infrequent. But we recently, literally just a couple of hours ago, just an hour ago, we were talking because we reconnected. And I was just like, damn, I have to chop it up with the homie. It's been a minute, and I haven't talked to him since I did 75 hard, and like since I've been really going hard with like just changing my life type shit and just not being satisfied with who I am. And like, this whole idea of in order to become a new version of yourself, you have to kill off your old version. And I didn't realize how different I would feel towards other people who are still kind of in a similar mindset as I used to be in. And I don't know, with my other friends, I've had similar situations, but it was never so palpable because we actually got into an argument about something where we were having a cool conversation, we were just catching up, whatever. It was me and him and it was me and him and a buddy on a call. And I had brought up randomly, I was like, oh, by the way, did I tell you guys about 75 Hard? Because I realized I just don't talk about it that much in real life because people usually don't care. So I'm thinking like, oh, these are my friends, like before music, before anything, like these are people who like, I grew up with type shit. So I want to tell them about this because it did so much for me and it's such a big impact on my life. It really helped change my fucking life. The whole trajectory of my life can be described as pre 75 hard, post 75 hard. It's that impactful. It means a lot to me. And I was explaining a little bit and my friend was kind of like, he wasn't like shitting on it, but he was kind of just being like a little bit dismissive of it. Kind of in that typical way of like, oh, I mean, if it works for you, that's cool. But like, it just seems kind of unnecessary, right? Like, why put yourself through suffering when you can kind of just, like, it seems like you're trying to attach yourself to this thing without thinking for yourself. Like, it seems like the easy thing to do. Like, it's easier to just attach yourself to something else and like let someone else lead you and find value in that instead of, just like being comfortable with yourself. Like, and I was trying to like work my way around it. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? Like this, like, because in my head, this is just like a completely positive thing. Like, how can you look at someone wanting to improve their life and actually going through the steps of improving their life and then actually improving their lives and then be like, yeah, but like, you could have just like sat down with yourself and had a conversation and been like, do I actually want to improve my life or am I just doing it because there's this voice in my head that's like telling me that I'm not good enough? Like, aren't I just good enough by just existing? You know what I'm saying? Like, existing in and of itself is a challenge. Like, being alive is challenging. So, like, I should be proud of myself just for being alive. And in my head, I'm like, huh. Like, it wasn't immediately, like, it's not hurtful or anything, but it was just like, wow, I did, like, I almost wanted to be like, damn, did I used to think like that? Like, I feel, because we used to be so 100% aligned. And then I was like, I was almost upset a little bit at first because I was like, whoa, you just like dismissed, like I went through 68 days of hell in order to improve my life. And like, obviously not every day was hell. Like I talk about it like it's hell, but like my life is hell. So going through 68 days of intentional difficulty and putting myself in an uncomfortable state in order to grow as a person, in order to develop my self-discipline, develop my confidence, and boost myself to get to this next level that I want to get to, it felt so good. It feels so good consistently knowing that I have this ability. But the way he described it made it seem like, yeah, I mean, cool, I guess, but like, it just seems a little bit unnecessary. Like, I don't know, like, I just don't understand why people put themselves through unnecessary suffering. It seems like a pissing contest, like, oh, look what I put myself through, when, you know, those same people are really just, it was very dismissive, you know what I mean? And it was interesting because it was like, you know, in my head, obviously, I listened to Andy Frisella a lot, I listened to Alex Hormozy a lot, and the way they describe it is like, the only people who talk like that, you know, the only people who say like, yeah, you know, I tried out the whole like going on a diet thing, but it just wasn't for me. Like it didn't seem worth it. Like I didn't really feel that different, you know what I mean? So I'd rather just be satisfied for myself, you know what I mean? Like it's like a fat person who's like, you know, body positivity or whatever. Like I love myself just the way I am. And the reality is, look, the way I see it is, if you truly love yourself exactly the way you are, and you're 100% satisfied, then everything goes out the window. It's amazing. Hey, I've done psychedelics before. I know what that's like. It's a great feeling. If you can get to that spot, I think all of us would enjoy our lives a lot more if we were all Gandhi and just like spiritual and like, you know, kill your ego. Everything is as is. I am perfect as is. I am love. I am light. All that stuff. It feels great. But we're humans. And the reality is we have an ego. And the reality is we do want to improve our lives. We do want to evolve. We do want to grow. The only, like, I just don't, like, scientifically speaking, they've done polls, they've done studies, there's math to prove that the majority of people, if you ask them if they're satisfied with their life right now, would tell you no. But if you looked at the difference between the people who are not satisfied with their lives and the people who are actually doing something about it, there's a very big discrepancy. And so that's where something like 75 Hard comes in, where someone like me, who has been very dissatisfied with his life for a very long time, who's always wanted to improve, and who's always craved self-discipline, who's always craved confidence, who's always craved the ability to just be a hard worker, and had these big goals and had these big aspirations, but didn't have the ability to actually rise to those occasions. Finding something like 75 Hard and completing it, or getting 68 days in, I still have to fucking complete it. I'm so mad at myself, but in a good way. You see how when I say I'm mad at myself, I smile when I say that? But for him, it was kind of like a, you know, if you're dissatisfied with yourself, it seems like for that type of person, it's an automatic negative thing, which is an interesting dichotomy, right? Like some people look at dissatisfaction as like, oh, you know, like, you know, if you're dissatisfied with yourself, then like you hate your life. Like, what's the point? Like, you should love yourself, and like, you know, like, why are you beating yourself up so much? But it's like, at the same time, how much, like, there's a difference between giving yourself grace and understanding that you're human and that you make mistakes, and just being lazy. You know what I mean? And just giving up and rationalizing giving up with, well, you know, I'm just gonna, Andy Frisell talks about, he's like, yeah, I just want to live a humble life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really need all this and that and the third. Like, I like my life just the way it is. The thing is, if you really, truly, 100% love your life exactly the way it is, good for you. But 99.9% of people who say that are lying to themselves and lying to other people. And that's just reality. And they'll never admit it, obviously, because that's really hard to do. I've read books on this. You can't give someone an opportunity to improve their lives and expect them to agree with you, because in order to agree with you, they would have to first take blame and admit that they aren't where they want to be. And that sucks, and that hurts, and it's really hard to do. And you could tell that was what was happening. I could tell that's what was happening with my friend, because he was getting a little bit triggered, and he was like, yo, I'm getting really uncomfortable. Like, I just don't like this conversation. Like, I really want to stop this conversation. But it's like, look, man, you were the one that brought up, you know, that you were the one that started dismissing the hard work. You're like, there's a bit of resentment in you towards yourself. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not a fucking psychiatrist. I don't know everything about you. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's something within you that looks at people who are doing things that you know you're incapable of doing. And because of it, you're incapable of doing it, you rationalize why doing it is stupid. Because otherwise you would just be sad and upset at yourself all day. And that's hard to do. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. Apparently it's a really hard message to hear. I get it. It's tough. It sucks. I had to hear that message at some point. And it's not for everyone. I wouldn't expect to change someone's mind. Like, I wasn't trying to change his mind and be like, you need to do 75 Hard right now. I wasn't trying to like tell him like, yo, your life sucks. Like, you could be so much better. Like, what's going on right now? Like, what you're doing, you're wrong. I wasn't trying to do that. It was just like, if you're gonna if you haven't gone through a certain type of challenge that someone else has gone through, but you discredit it and you dismiss it, see, the difference is I've been in his position. I've been depressed. I've walked around hating my life. I've walked around constantly looking for the next dopamine high, constantly looking to the next thing that I can just distract myself with, and just convincing myself that my life is just fine the way it is. But then whenever I see other people doing great shit, it inspires me and it motivates me. And I go like, damn, I kind of want to have like muscles. I kind of want to get bigger. I'd like to be able to work out consistently. Or like, damn, like look at how much money that guy has. Like he doesn't have to work a 9 to 5. Like he can work for himself and like take care of his family and, be his own boss and create his own schedule and live his life on his terms. Like, yeah, I kind of want to do that. Excuse me. And then whenever I would try to do that, I would fail and it would become difficult and I would have to regress. And it was hard. It was really difficult. 6 years, I've been taking L after L after L after L after L after L because I have these aspirations and I have this thing that I want to grow into, and you don't just become that overnight. And you have to admit to your deficiencies in order to give yourself space to even grow in the first place. But if you're not even willing to admit those deficiencies and you're just convinced that you're satisfied with your life and you just settle for what you want, settle for what you have, and you convince yourself that, it's not even that I can't have these things. Like if I wanted to become a millionaire, I could, I would do it. If I wanted to become skinny, I would. If I wanted to get 6-pack, I would. If I wanted to eat healthier, I would. But I'm cool. Like I'm genuinely satisfied with where I'm at right now. Like I'm fine. And that's great if you truly believe that. But if you truly believe that, you wouldn't then go to other people and be like, oh, so that 75 hard thing, like, oh, so for 68 days, you worked out twice for 45 minutes and you did all this stuff. Like it seems a little bit unnecessary, Like he was trying to tell me that I was taking it personally. It's like, look, I'm not attacking you or whatever, but it's just such a backhanded thing. It's like, it seems like what you're doing is like pretty unnecessary, bro. Like, I don't know, it just seems kind of like a lot. Like, and then later on he showed his true colors because he was like, dude, it's a fucking fad. Like people who do that are just taking the easy way out because they can't handle just being satisfied with themselves. And I asked him, I was like, so you genuinely think that going from being a lazy, I'm talking about myself now, right? If I'm a super lazy person and I'm undisciplined and I have goals that I want to reach, but I can't get to where I want to go, right? You think it's easier for me to do something like 75 hard for 68 days, work out 45 minutes, twice a day, drink a gallon of water, multiple times too, mind you, that 68-day run was just the longest I've done it. I've had multiple streaks where I had failed in the past. So it was like almost 3-4 months of me doing this repeatedly, trying to dial it in. I'm like, you think it's easier to do that, to work out consistently every day, to improve yourself, to go through suffering on purpose every single day to improve your life? You think it's easier to do that as opposed to having a conversation with yourself and thinking about how to maneuver your life? And he was like, yeah, I think it's easier to do that. I think people are taking the easy way out. They don't want to sit with themselves. And I was just like, wow. I forget that people, I almost forgot there's people like that who are so in their own heads about it. You know what I mean? It makes sense. I'm sure I was like that at some point too, to an extent, but I feel like deep down, I always knew that there was more I could be doing. And I was slowly working towards becoming that type of person. I just wasn't there yet. It's just interesting when you hold up the mirror to someone else and you talk about how much stuff you're doing and how disciplined you're becoming and how much work you've been putting in, and they start to feel a little dissatisfied with themselves because you are that mirror for them, and you realize, oh wait, we both started in the same place. So because I'm here now, you have to rationalize that what I'm doing is unnecessary, otherwise you would feel horrible. It makes sense, and I get it, but it was just tough to have that conversation because I realized, holy fuck, I just outgrew one of my best friends. And by the end of it, I was like, yo, I have no ill will towards you. And he said the same thing. He was willing to keep having a different conversation, just keep chopping up like it was regular. And I was like, bro, I don't know how to continue this conversation because this is a value that I hold so close to me that I don't see how I could be the same level of friends that we were with someone who is not just doesn't have that value, but literally thinks in the opposite manner. And it's not necessarily that, my friends need to help me to get to where I want to go type shit. If you're not helping me, you're hurting me. I'm not fucking a Sith Lord, you feel me? Only a Sith deals in absolutes, right? But to an extent, you are who you are the company you keep. You are the 5 friends that you keep around you. If I'm going to have a conversation with someone, I genuinely want it to be fruitful. Otherwise, I could be spending that time working because I'm currently in hell. If I miss one child support payment, or if I get fired from my job, or if I miss a bill, I could get evicted. I could lose my car. I could go to jail. Like, this is real life for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have shit to take care of. Like, I am on I'm playing this video game on expert difficulty right now. So unless you're trying to help me, like, you know what I mean, get to the next level and like not fucking get killed by this boss every goddamn time, like, I just can't waste time having like these aimless conversations. Like, I love having conversations with people that are productive, that elevate your mindset. Like, it's one of my favorite things, connecting with others. I don't want to just do this shit alone. It's boring doing it by yourself, you know what I'm saying? But when someone is so opposite and so opposed, and it's just like, all right, cool, so like we disagreed on that heavily, what's next? And then like he was talking about something where he was like, yeah, so I did this thing recently, and he was basically like just casually joking about how he did this thing, and he basically just like half-assed it and like kind of like didn't do it the right way type shit, and it was like, yeah, it was kind of funny, like, you know, I kind of fucked up type shit, but you know, whatever, ha ha ha. And I was just sitting there, I'm like, damn, like that's not funny. You know what I mean? And not in like a mean way, not in like a, yo, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, get your life together. It's like, dude, he's obviously happy. Like, he's chilling. You know what I mean? He's like doing his thing, and I'm happy for him that he's satisfied, I guess. You know, he's satisfied, supposedly. Which is great if he actually is, but it's just like, where do you go from there, right? Like, I don't have anything else to talk about from there. It's like, dude, like, you literally are living a sort of half-assed life that you think is fully satisfying, which is great for you, but I can't live the way I live and hold myself to the standard that I hold myself to, while also just kind of being like jokey la-di-da-di about that same type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, imagine two people, two cigarette smokers, right? And then one person quit smoking cigarettes, and they had to go through hell to quit smoking cigarettes. You feel me? Like, they went through all the withdrawal symptoms. They were sweating it out. They had to go to rehab. Like, I don't know. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't know what that's like to be like a drug addict type shit. But imagine going through all that and then finally escaping and getting your life together. And then that same person that you're friends with is still smoking cigarettes, and y'all are casually talking about it, and he's like, yeah, you know, my doctor said that I'm probably gonna die in a couple months, but it's whatever. So anyways, what's up with you? Oh, you stopped smoking. Good for you, man. Yeah, I guess. Like, you know, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, we're all gonna die anyway, so like, I mean, I guess good for you if you don't like smoking anymore, but like, you know, whatever. It's like, where do you go from there? You know what I mean? And it kind of fucking sucks, because I realize, like, damn, niggas is right. Like, when you elevate and you really start like pushing yourself and holding yourself to a standard, like, it's gonna rub people the wrong way. And not only does it rub people the wrong way, they're not even gonna realize why it rubs them the wrong way. And they're gonna gaslight you and convince you that you're the one that's being mean, that you're the one that's annoying. He told me I should apologize to him for talking down to him. Like, the fact that you assume I'm talking down to you and we weren't on equal, like, if you think I'm talking down to you, that's because you're looking up to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to deep down think that someone is doing better than you in order for them to talk down to you. You see what I'm saying? Like, no one can talk down to me unless I put them on a pedestal. So, and he doesn't even realize that, like, it's subconsciously, that's where it was at. That's the craziest part about it. And yeah, it's kind of fucked, because like, he's a great guy. It's my dog. I'm talking about my dog. Like, I love this motherfucker. I've been through shit with this motherfucker. Like, it's my dog, bro. You feel me? This is like someone I wanted to invite to like the Grammy party type shit. You feel me? Like, and it makes sense. Like, I knew not everyone was gonna stay type shit, and I knew I was gonna like lose friends, but I didn't think it was gonna be one of these ones type shit. You feel me? Like, it was like, damn, I thought low key we were the same. I thought, you know, we were going through the same things, but we both wanted to elevate though, and we were gonna elevate at our own paces, but you can't live the lifestyle that I'm living. You can't live RPG mentality and be around people who don't also want to improve their lives. You know what I'm saying? It's like, imagine, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm working my ass off every single day, grinding to elevate, to get better, to improve. And then I'm just going to casually talk with someone who's like, yeah, you know, I haven't improved today that much. Like, I've just been kind of chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's dope. You're doing that improvement thing, right? Lit. It's like, no, I need motherfuckers who are in the trenches with me right now. Like, oh, what did you do today? Damn, you was on that shit? Yo, let's go. Like, my dog, I have a bro who I stopped talking to him a little bit because I was focusing on myself. And you know, he would reach out here and there like, yo, miss you, dog. Like, just want to check up, see how you're doing. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm doing good. I'm just focused on myself. Like, focus on yourself. I'm good. And he took the hint. And he started seeing what I was doing, and he even admitted it later multiple times. He's like, bro, like seeing you on your grind, seeing you going hard and like elevating and going crazy makes me motivated to like do more. And then in a couple months, this motherfucker is running a half marathon, and he's probably gonna run a full one soon too. Shout out my boy, you know who you are. Like that's what I love to see. If my elevation and my like discipline and me like mentioning 75 hard and me wanting to improve motivates you and inspires you to do better, that's the type of friend I want. But if it rubs you the wrong way to where you start like giving backhanded like type of things like, oh, I mean, good for you if that's what you want to do. Like, nah, I don't need you in my life. You feel me? And it's fucked up. It's really fucked up because I love this motherfucker, but it's like you don't even realize that like just by saying stuff like that, like you're actively bringing down the vibration. You know what I'm saying? You're bringing down that frequency that I'm on, and you think that they can just coexist, and it can't. It can't. There's a side of this, and I hope he sees it. I know he one day, I have faith in him, I believe in him. And he even admitted it. He's like, yo, I'm open to growing. Like, this is just how I feel right now. Maybe I'll change in the future. And one day he's gonna see it, the other side of it, and he's gonna actively decide to like put in some real fucking work and be like, okay, I'm not satisfied with just existing anymore. Like, that was cool for a while, but now I need more. And once he goes through the gauntlet and he starts feeling that feeling of like, oh shit, I'm putting myself through hell and I'm surviving and I'm feeling it and I'm getting better and I'm improving, he's gonna look back and be like, damn, that's what that motherfucker was talking about. Damn, that's crazy. Or maybe he won't. Maybe I'm just a pretentious asshole. Who knows? I guess y'all can decide. But for someone else who's like losing out on friends, bro, I feel you. That shit sucks. At first it didn't really suck for me because, I don't know, I felt like most of my friends were down to elevate as well, even if it wasn't at the same pace. But this one hurt, bro. This one hurt. Like I just don't see myself actively reaching out to this person anymore. Because before it was like, okay, like we can talk shop and like, you know, we can help each other and like, oh, what are you going through? Damn, I feel you. I'm going through something similar. But now it's like, I can't think of a reason why I would hit you up if you're just gonna be on the same bullshit. You feel me? Because to you, it's not bullshit. Like if we can both admit that it's bullshit together, then at least we can start from a base level of foundation. But once the values no longer align and they start, you know, becoming polar opposites, then, you know, you gotta separate. And it is what it is. But I apologize for this video being super long. Like I said, this literally just happened. Like I'm fresh off of that conversation and I just didn't want to wait. And like I said, I'm kind of throwing reckless abandonment with this whole RPG thing. Like my life is a commodity for you guys. My life is now content for you. Okay, so enjoy it, because in 10 years when I'm done with this shit and I get to just chill with my family and enjoy it, I'm not posting nothing. Y'all don't get to know nothing about my 30s and 40s and 50s. But for my 20s, while I'm elevating in this shit, here we go, bro. For anyone else who's going through the gauntlet, this is for you. All right. So, you know, don't hate this. Don't, you know, disrespect these people who are, you know, your friends who are like this. If they're not on the same path as you, that's okay. This isn't for everybody. You feel me? Like, you know how much pain and suffering you had to go through to get to where you are now. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I would wish this upon someone else. Like, if you're genuinely satisfied, good for you. I've said it multiple times. I almost wish I could be satisfied just living a regular life. It'd be a lot easier than what I'm doing now, but I'm not. And I can't relate to people who aren't on this wave anymore. It is what it is. I've been in it for so long now. It's a whole different beast. So yeah, this video sucks. But someone out there, one person is gonna get value from this video and they're gonna be like, damn, I'm so happy I heard that from Eric Jr. So if you're that one person, I did this for you. Goodbye.